Hi, so today I got 3 videos to do, and this is the first one. It's the Smackdown live review that I was supposed to have done yesterday, but I was just feeling way too bad, and I still have this cold, but I'm fighting through it, and I'm getting better, so today I'm getting through these videos, so here's the Smackdown live review. So it started out, the New Day came out because they had their New Year's Day, New Day celebration. And when they came out, me and my dad were immediately taken back by the fact that Big E was dressed like a baby. Like, he literally had on a diaper, had a bottle, and like a top hat. So I guess he was like Baby New Year or something. I'm not really sure, but it was just weird. And we just started laughing because it was funny to us. I really found it funny because I'm just like, what are you doing? Why are you just like a baby? What? Just why? So, anyway, they get in the rain, they say Happy New Year, and they say that they are in the Royal Rumble, that all 3 of them are entrants in the Royal Rumble. And that's going to be interesting to see. Like, I'm actually excited to see how that goes. I'm actually trying to hold back a cough because I don't want to cough again in video, so I'm trying to fight through that. But anyway, I won. I wonder like how that's gonna go. Like all 3 of them in a Royal Rumble match, like that. The aspect of that is actually pretty exciting to me. So anyway, they say that. Then they say that New Year is all about resolutions, and Xavier says that because it's the New Year, the group's resolution has to come from the fact that they went to the doctors and their doctor said that they couldn't have pancakes anymore. And so it's like, oh, okay. So they're no longer allowed to have pancakes. And so Kofi says instead of pancakes, we're going to be handing out lettuce. And so it's like heads up lettuce. It's like, what? Why? Lettuce? Um, okay. But anyway, as they're talking, Big E suddenly he just has a pancake in his hand, and I didn't know where this first one came from. I didn't realize he was pulling them out of his diaper, but like he suddenly was eating this pancake, and Kofi's like, "Hey, you can't be doing that." And he takes the pancake from him, like puts it in the hat and puts the hat down, and it's just like, it's your health, man. You gotta watch your health. And Big E's like, yeah, of course. So then, as they start to talk again, Big E goes behind Kofi and suddenly has another pancake. And this time, Kofi and Xavier are both like, "What are you doing?" And then Big E's finally like, "Come on, people usually don't follow New Year's resolutions anyway, so it's like, it doesn't really matter." So suddenly he's like pulling them out of his diaper, just throwing them into the crowd, and I'm just like, is he? That came out of his diaper and he's eating it? What? I, oh my god, that was disgusting to me. I didn't even know what to think about that. I'm just like, oh my god, that's so gross. But it made me laugh, but it was weird. Um, Next, in this segment, then Kofi says his New Year's resolution is he wants to get a car. He wants to get a nice, shiny new car that he could become friends with, and then find out that there's more to the car than meets the eye. And Xavier and Biggie are both like, that's the plot to John Cena's movie Bumblebee. And I'm just like, okay, yeah, sure. And then Xavier's like turned around. Biggie turns him over, and he's wearing a blindfold, and he's like, and Xavier's like, my New Year's resolution is I want to go through life with a blindfold on and fight creatures and stuff. And Xavier and Kofi are like, that's the plot to the movie Bird Box. Sorry, I couldn't hold that in forever. So I was very like I haven't seen Bumblebee or Bird Box, but I guess they're like really good. But that was weird to me when they were just saying those as the New Year's resolutions. And also something I forgot to mention, when it came to Royal Rumble, they kept saying, we will win the WWE Championship. We will win the WWE Championship. And so that confused me because I was just like, so you're planning on all sharing it? Like, it's like, how would that work? Would each of them just like come out every other week with someone else holding the title? Like, how does that go? Like that's just the only thing that that I really just want to know the answer to. One of the only things I just really want the answer to. Like, how would that work? But anyway, speaking of that, they say they suddenly start talking about Brock Lesnar and how he's like never there, and then they're just laughing about that. And then they were talking about how there was going to be a fatal four-way, a fatal five-way at the end of the night to determine who was going to be facing Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship at Royal Rumble. And I don't know why. I think it was because I was half talking with my dad at the same time. But for some reason, I started to think that the New Day were having to fight each other to figure out this final spot. And I was just like, they're going to have to fight each other? What? They're about to fight each other? Wow. But then they said the final member is going to be determined in this match that's going to happen now. And they're saying it's Samoa Joe versus who. And I'm like, yeah, who? And then Jeff came out, and I got very excited, and then I was happy because Jeff had a match. So the next thing is Jeff Hardy versus Samoa Joe. See, this match, like, Samoa Joe started out strong. He, like, kept kicking Jeff in, like, his leg, and then he got Jeff in a leg bar, but Jeff got to the rope, and then Jeff started to get momentum, and then it kept going back and forth. But finally, Jeff got the twist of fate, went up, did the swanton, but right before he could even cover, Samoa Joe, like, rolled out of the ring. And Jeff just looked, like, in disbelief and just mad about this. So he grabs onto the rope like he's going to do, like, this flying drop kick thing. He goes to do it, but Samoa Joe catches his feet and pulls him out and then pulls him right into the Coquina clutch. And he just gets Jeff on the floor, and the ref starts counting. When the ref gets to 8, Samoa Joe releases the hold and rushes back in the ring. And because Samoa Joe had, like, gone in the ref's face, the ref stopped the count. So he's like, come on, Jeff, like, get back in here. And then he starts counting again. And at 9, Jeff just gets in, but then Samoa Joe puts the clutch on him, puts the Coquina clutch on him again, and Jeff doesn't tap, but the ref's like, come on, Jeff, talk to me, but Jeff's not responding, so he, like, shakes his arm and then just says that Jeff is passed out. So Samoa Joe wins by submission, and so he's going to be in the Fatal 5-Way match at the end of the night. What I didn't like about this was, don't you usually have to do the raise your hand 3 times thing to see if people are conscious or not, like, during those submissions? Like, because all he did was shake Jeff's arm. He didn't do the arm raising thing. And that confused me in Kyrie and Shayna's match from last year, too. It's like, you're not raising your hand, you're just shaking the arm. Is that, like, the new thing that you do now? But, yeah, that just confused me. But obviously, Jeff wasn't really passed out because, like, as soon as the move was over, Jeff started moving, and then he eventually, like, started to sit up, like, as the thing was ending. So I didn't hate it. I didn't hate the match. Like, I loved seeing Jeff, and I loved the fact that he was so close to getting an opportunity. But obviously, Samoa Joe and Jeff's feud isn't over, and I'm looking forward to see what goes on this year when it comes to them, especially this month. Like, I'm very interested in seeing that. So, moving on, because next is Vince and Shane backstage. I mean, Shane is kind of, like, in awe of the fact that, like, Samoa Joe is in the Fatal 5-Way, and then he's also, like, confused as to why Vince is like provoking AJ Styles, and AJ comes in and he's like, "You wanted to see me," and he's like looking away, and then looking at them, and then looking away again, and he's like, "You probably want me to apologize. I probably should apologize, but I won't." And then he looked at Vince and he was like, "You deliberately provoked me." And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, that's literally what happened." Oh, fun thing I forgot to mention. During Samoa Joe and Jeff's match, at one point Samoa Joe has Jeff in the corner and he's like, "You started this, Jeff." And me and my dad were both watching this, and then me and my mom, when we watched it again together yesterday, we were like, no, Jeff didn't start anything. You're the one who started this. And it's like, what are you talking about? You're the one who's been provoking Jeff for weeks. Like, okay. But, okay. I just got that memory back in just after saying that AJ had said that Vince provoked him, so I decided to get that little thought out. Back to this. He goes, "You want to see the real me? You want to see how dangerous I really am? Then I'll show you tonight." But then he also said, like, "Or I can just show you right now." And Shane immediately got up, but Vince, liking the fire and the passion in AJ, he just gets up and puts his arm out to stop Shane. And AJ just, like, rolls his eyes and goes to the back and leaves the room. Shane looks at Vince and is like, "Are you sure you want to see this new AJ?" Vince just goes, "Absolutely," with like the smile and a nod. And then Shane goes, "Be careful what you wish for." And that ends it. Sorry. That, like, I love that ending of, like, Shane, like, wanting to come to Vince's defense. But seriously, Vince is putting this on himself. Like, if AJ is going to touch Triple H or Shane or Vince or anyone, it's going to be because of something they did. Because he's getting provoked majorly. He got provoked by Vince last week. So it's like, if anything happens, he's getting provoked. So, no telling what's going to go down. And I'm very excited for that. Then they said that Rusev's Day was going to be next. And then it showed Rusev. The next segment is Rusev's Day in the ring. He's getting interviewed about the fact that he is the new United States champion. And he is very excited. And he keeps saying that this is the United States of the championship. Not Rusev's United States or anything. He says it's the United States of this championship. And he says that he's going to defend it, that he's going to fight it, and that he's going to honor it, calls himself handsome again, which was like, okay. But then he just talks about how happy and honored he is, and he's so happy that he won it on his birthday and on Rusev Day. And then as he's talking, Shinsuke just appears out of nowhere and hits him from behind, gets him in the corner, and just starts beating him up in the corner. But then Lana jumps onto Shinsuke's back and, like, holds his head, like, just trying to stop him. And Shinsuke is, like, struggling, and he's holding on to the rope. He doesn't try to push down Lana or anything, but he's just kind of like, his face is just like, what am I supposed to do? You're on my back now. Great. So Rusev, of course, gives Shinsuke the Machka kick. Only because Lana is on Shinsuke's back, Shinsuke falls and lands on Lana. And that, of course, knocks Lana completely loopy for some reason, even though she's, like, professional superstar at this point, and she wrestles, but this was enough to knock her head for a loop. And what's funny was, like, Rusev was just staring there in shock, like, he can't believe he just did that. He can't believe that Lana just got hurt. And then he goes to attend to Lana, and then Shinsuke kicks him, but then Rusev gets up, and then Shinsuke delivers the Kinshasa, and then Rusev is down. And then Shinsuke's just in there, and the ref goes, checks on Lana, and then on Rusev, and then Shinsuke leaves. And when he's halfway down the ramp, they go back to the ring, and Rusev is up now, and so is Lana, and Rusev is, of course, tending to Lana. and making sure she's okay. So the segment was alright. Like, it wasn't anything great. I do feel for Lana's neck, but seriously, it's like she should be able to handle this by now. But obviously, it's like I know it's not over between Shinsuke and Rusev, not by a long shot at this point. So very interested to see what goes on. Um. Anyway, next, it's announced that Naomi and Mandy Rose will have a match, and I kind of saw this coming after that segment last week, which they showed again, which was like Jimmy and Jay were talking in the back, and then Jimmy like turned and he's standing under the mistletoe. Mandy and Sonya are there, and Mandy's like trying to hint at Jimmy that they should kiss, but Naomi comes and is very livid about this and is like telling Mandy to get lost, throws her stiletto at her. It's like, it's funny. But I was expecting this match, and then they cut back to the ring, and Naomi's already in there, and she's ready to kill Mandy. Like, the whole time Mandy's walking down the rope, like, Naomi keeps wanting to charge, and the ref has to keep holding her back. Mandy gets closer, Mandy gets in the ring, and Naomi again goes to charge at her, and the ref has to hold her. Mandy takes off her shirt, her Mandy Rose shirt, to reveal a New Day shirt. And this enrages Naomi even more, and Naomi again tries to go after her, but Mandy Rose slides out of the ring. Sonya Deville gets in and just starts hitting Naomi, and then, like, the ref rings the bell, and we were just like, wait, what? Like, I thought it was Mandy and Naomi, so I guess it was Naomi and Sonya fighting. So now it's Naomi versus Sonya Deville. Naomi, like, immediately starts getting offense on Sonya, taking out the frustration she wanted to take out on Mandy. She's taking that out on Sonya now, and she gets this huge kick onto Sonya. And then Sonya's in the corner, and before Naomi can do anything, Mandy gets on the microphone and says that while she was getting dressed, she couldn't help but think of Naomi's husband, Jimmy. And then she said that she took a picture. And on the Titantron, it shows a picture of Mandy in nothing but a towel. And I don't remember what Naomi said, but I know Naomi said something. But the distraction was enough that Sonya was able to hit her and then got this, I think it was a DDT or something. It planted Naomi to the mat. And then she got the 1, 2, 3, and Sonya won, and then immediately got out of the ring and got by Mandy. Naomi was sitting up towards the end and was just gripping onto her neck because of like that hit, and she was so mad and livid that I know there's gonna be more between her and Mandy, and I just hope they book it right. But anyway, the match wasn't anything like super special, but it was like, I did like seeing Naomi want to kill Mandy. Like, that was fun. So, that was good. Next, Randy, Ray, and Mustafa Ali all have these little selfie, like, type, like, backstage promos where they're just talking to the camera about why they're going to win the Fatal 5-Way, talking about how they want to fight Daniel Bryan at Royal Rumble. Mustafa mentions the fact that he already beat Daniel, but this is, like, his chance to shine. Randy talks about the fact that he's taken out people's, like, he's taken out Jeff, he's taken out Ray. Ray just says that he came back and he wants to have this opportunity. He's going to do anything he can to keep it. Alright. And yeah, that was pretty much it. Next, there is New Year's resolutions. The Iconics want to become the new tag team champions. A couple other people said stuff. But the best one was Shelton Benjamin. He ended this New Year's resolution thing. Because, like, you know, the screen, like, the backdrop, he got mad and he tears it down. He's like, no one follows their New Year's resolutions anyway. And he just tears it down. And I'm just like, okay. but for some reason I thought they're just gonna put that thing back up, and then the other superstar is gonna have New Year's resolutions too. I mentioned that to my dad, and he's just like, no. Turns out he was right, but I just thought so. Nothing much to say about that. That was the end. And next, Samoa Joe has a backstage thing where he's just talking to the camera, and he just makes it simple, saying he's gonna win the match. So, just saying he's gonna win the Fatal 5-Way. Next, John Cena comes back. He returns to SmackDown Live. He goes down to an ovation. He's like, wow, it's mixed. Like, cool. And he's like, how is everyone? And all this stuff. And he's very happy to be back. And then he's talking about how 2000... Sorry. He's talking about how 2018 has had so much happen in his life. He talks about how the fact that he's had so many ups. Like, he wrote his book, and Bumblebee went, and he had a lot of movies and a lot of stuff that went really well for him, but he also said he had the lows. And he says that he knows someone's probably going to come out. This is like breaking the fourth wall in a way. He says he knows that someone is going to come down, some guy is going to come down and talk about how he insults him on like his hair and stuff, which John says, for some reason, I still think this is a good idea, and he points at his head, which was funny. But, which I just found to be a little amusing. But anyway, he's talking about like how he knows some guy is gonna come down and be like, I'm gonna drop you faster than Nikki did, and that stuff. So he also says he knows that his personal life was brought out to the world, but he was glad about his experiences, and now he wants to like just let whichever man is about to come out, he just wants to let them come out and do their thing. And then Becky's music plays, and I started laughing hysterically because I saw some footage, but I couldn't tell if it was from a SmackDown Live or from just like a live event. Like, in my defense, I'm sick, but also sometimes I don't catch on to stuff very quickly, so it could be that too. But turns out, yep, Becky Lynch is there, and I'm just laughing, and I'm loving this because I can't wait because Becky's promos are always awesome. And so she just goes, so how does it feel? And of course John's like, how does it feel to be back? Well, I love it. And then she's like, no. How does it feel to know that you are expecting a man to come out when instead you got the man? And then Becky's like basically just talking about the fact that like I'm like, I wasn't just doing this because of Charlotte. I was doing all this stuff because of you too, because you were on everything having to do with WWE for the last like 16 years. But that's old news, and I'm in charge of WWE now and that stuff. And then she's talking about like, and if you don't like it, Nikki Bella would. This is how she says. She said, Nikki Bella won't be the only person to drop you this year. I think like she meant last year or recently, but she said this year instead. So it's like, whoops. But forget about that. Basically, she's saying she'll drop John too, and wants to know how it feels for him to be in the ring with her. But before they can say anything else, Selena Vega and Andrade Cien Almas come out. Selena insults them and calls John old news and says that Becky has an old face, and like the broken face, and it's like, it didn't really heal well, did it? And Becky is just smirking at her the whole time, like she could care less, like she's just smirking at this. And then I'm sorry. And then she's like, this isn't how we do things here and stuff. But then John's like, whoa. In case you don't know who we are, I am John Cena. That is the man. And if you want to do things the way SmackDown Live does it, how about you come down here? Then he looks at Becky and was just like, you want to know how it feels to be how I feel being in the ring with you? Well, I would like to find out that too. So how about we team up and go against Selena and Andrade? And Becky's just all ready. She just wants to do this. And then Selena and Andrade, they're nodding and they go down. There's a commercial break, and then turns out the match was made official. So it starts out with Becky and Selena. Becky gets a lot of moves on Selena. Selena tags in Almas. And then it's this funny standoff where Becky, like, she wants to fight Andrade. See, this is a mixed tag. It's not intergender, so Selena tagged out, so Becky needs to go, and John needs to come in, but Becky wants in. Becky stands her ground, and she's staring at Andrade, and the ref is just like, you gotta go. And John's just like, I will let you take care of this. So John's just staring at her, waiting to see what she does. Becky goes to John and angrily taps him on his chest and angrily gets out of the ring. And I thought that was funny. I enjoyed that. But then John gets dominated a lot by Andrade. Selena kicks him at one point and like has him in the ropes, and it's just like a lot of antics are going on. Finally, John gets a flying tag to Becky. Becky and Selena are going at it. And Becky goes for a cover at some point, I believe, and Andrade like saves Selena. So John comes in, he does the "you can't see me," and it seems like he does it to Becky at one point. Because you see Becky's face, she is not impressed for that. She's like gets mad about that. So John does the "you can't see me," does the 5-knuckle shuffle, does the attitude adjustment, does that little Shanghai, whatever that thing is that he does the lightning fist, and then do all this to Andrade, and then Becky just comes from behind and just throws John out of the ring, is just staring at him. It's like, you can tell she's still mad from that "you can't see me" thing, because she's just looking at him. And then Selena comes from behind, tries to roll up Becky, but Becky's not taking it. And she immediately gets Selena in the in the disarmor, and Selena taps out immediately. And John's impressed by this. He's just nodding. He's just like happy about this. So Becky comes out, and John's just like, okay, and extends his hand out for her to shake it. She looks like she's about to, but then instead she just does the "you can't see me" sign. So that just and then she just walks off, and then John just looks impressed. He just nods with a smile and then goes back in the ring. They play his music for a bit and they celebrate. That match, I just thought it was funny. I just loved Becky wanting to fight everyone. It's just like taking no names. She's all business. She's just there because she wants to be. She's owning everyone. She's owning John, and John's like enjoying it. So, it's just, I liked it. I thought it was fun. I had fun. I enjoyed it. Then next, they recap the moment from Miz TV last week when Miz told Shane the story about his father and why he believes him and Shane should be a tag team. And Shane going, your story resonated with me, you better not screw me or else it's going to be dire consequences, but let's try this. And then them becoming a tag team. They show Shane's backstage, and Miz goes to the room, and he takes an easel with him in the room. Right now Shane is just like, Miz, I am really busy, like I got a lot to do. And Miz is like, you're not backing out on this, are you? Because we said we were going to do this. And Shane's like, no, I'm still in. And then Miz goes, great. And then he removes some paper and shows like these outfit ideas. And it's just like him, it's just Miz and Shane. Picture of Miz and Shane in like the trench coat things, but you make sure that Shane still has his signature like shoes. And so that was just very, like, not really much happened. Like, then they showed, like, another picture and, like, stuff. And then Shane is not impressed at all. But he's like, Miz, you're a smart guy. You should have, like, lights and, like, all this, like, glitter and stuff, like, make it explosive or whatever. And Miz turns around because he's, like, envisioning all this, and he's like, yeah, I got all these ideas. We got all these lights and stuff. As he turns around, Shane, like, rolls his eyes and just sneaks out of the room. And Miz is like, we're going to be the best team in the whole world. And he turns around and Shane's just gone. But Miz is still, like, very excited about this, so he's just smiling and as the camera leaves. Not really much to that segment, but it was funny. So I enjoyed myself. Another On Their Way promo. Nothing to say about that. It's just the same promo of everyone that's going to be coming to main roster. Then they show the SmackDown Women's Championship, like, sitting on this thing, and then Asuka picks it up, and I got very happy to see Asuka because I didn't get to see her last week, and I wanted to. So seeing her, obviously, as you can tell, makes me very happy. But yeah, I saw Asuka. Asuka, like, she looks up and she, like, smiles, and then you see Triple H coming in the view, and she's like, "Hi," and he's like, "Hi, how are you?" And he's like, and he's talking about, like, congratulations on being, congratulations on winning the championship, and she's like, "Thank you," and just the happiness of seeing these two together, it was great. And, like, and his main thing is he's like, Royal Rumble's coming up, and I congratulating you on defeating Naomi. He said last week, so I think they taped this, like, the same week or something, but, or maybe there's just some misguiding with, like, the tapings or whatever, but it's alright. But but anyway, sorry, I can't help this coughing. But anyway, he's like, Royal Rumble's coming up, and I want to know who you think deserves a shot at being champion. And she goes, I will fight anyone. It doesn't matter, because no one's ready for Asuka. And she's so amped and excited, and Triple H is smiling, he's nodding, he's like, I love it. And he was about to say something else, but he turns, and Charlotte is just there. Everyone just, like, started magically showing up, so it was just kind of a little weird. But, you know, okay. First Charlotte's there, and she's like, if it weren't for Ronda, I would be champion right now, so I should have a shot. And Asuka's just looking at her, but then she turns, and Carmella's there, and Carmella's like, actually, I was champion first, even though Charlotte was champion before Carmella, but, you know. Actually, she's like, I was champion for 100-something days. For 100-something days, and it's like, and I beat both Asuka and Charlotte twice. And then Asuka just rolls her eyes and is just staring at her. And then Becky pops up between Triple H and Asuka and is like, no, actually, I'm the one who just lost the title, so I should be the one to get another shot. And then her and Asuka just have this stare down. And then Triple H is like, all three of you make great points. I will take it up with advisement, and we'll get back to you women soon. He leaves. Becky, Charlotte, and Carmella all looking at Asuka. Asuka just turns, takes her championship, looks back at them, just smiling, puts the championship over her shoulder, and just leaves with a huge grin on her face. And then after the girls watch her leave, they turn and just start looking at each other. For me, I'm just happy because I got to see Asuka, so I'm good. And I can't wait to see what they do next week. I hope it's like a triple threat and then Asuka gets involved for whatever reason and just stands down in the ring with who she wants. And I kind of hope it's Carmella. My reasoning, because what happened with Carmella was horrible, and I will talk about that in the next video I do. But I really want them to, like, have that fight where now it's Asuka with the championship and have Asuka just, like, defeat Carmella once and for all and just be like, you're done. Like, that would be great for me. Like, that would be great for me. I would love to see that. But anyway, just seeing Asuka made me very, very happy. And then it's the main event, the Fatal 5-Way. With AJ Styles versus Rey Mysterio versus Samoa Joe versus Randy Orton versus Mustafa Ali. Now, AJ starts this out of the gate just going after everybody. And then it takes a turn and everyone's doing their things. And toward the middle, Samoa Joe, like, takes AJ and just slams him onto the table. And the table breaks and AJ's down for a while. Randy and Samoa Joe have the stare down. And then Rey just comes out of nowhere and is just beating them up. And then it's just Ray and Mustafa. They get in the ring, and the commentators let us know, and it's pretty obvious that like Mustafa idolizes Ray, and Ray obviously knows this because they're looking and they're just nodding. Ray extends his hand, and him and Mustafa have a handshake, and then Ray like shakes his hand, and then immediately goes into fighting mode of like, I respect you too, but let's fight now. So they have their fight, and they're doing it, and then Randy gets in, and then he gets the upper hand on Ray. And then when he's about to do something else, suddenly AJ is like on the ring apron, gets up onto the ropes, and does this like, I thought he was going to do a phenomenal forearm, but instead it was like this fog splash thing, splashes onto Randy Orton and gets the pin, and he is going to fight Daniel Bryan. He's going to face Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship at Royal Rumble. I am I'm looking forward to this. Like, I'm pretty excited about this. Kind of like, their last match was really good, so I am looking forward to seeing what they do again. Like, I would like to see what they do again. So overall, obviously, I enjoyed SmackDown more than Raw. Like, Raw was an okay show. It wasn't like anything amazing, but it was okay. But I really enjoyed SmackDown Live. Like, it was a really, really great show. And just to say, I'm just gonna say at the end here, I watched the episode of NXT UK. I loved it. It was awesome. I watched 205 Live. Cedric is facing Cedric Alexander is facing Hideo Itami next week for the final spot in this fatal 4-way that's going to be happening for the cruiserweights to find out who's going to be fighting Buddy Murphy for the championship at Royal Rumble. That's going to be exciting. That was the highlight there for me. Also, the fact that Leo was fighting Kalisto. Leo Rush fought Kalisto and won. That was great. Like, 205 Live was fun. I enjoyed it. WWE NXT was just a recap of the end of the year awards. I got all my rewards down on Twitter, so I voted for everyone already. Voted for Kairi Sane a lot, obviously. But the only match they had was Matt Riddle versus Cassius Ohno, and Matt won by submission. He went to do the fist bump, but Cassius left. But then Cassius got back in the ring, got down on his knee, did the fist bump, and then jumped Matt and ended up knocking him out with with a fist on the outside. So it was just, it was Cassius being sore because he lost. But so obviously there's gonna be more between Matt and Cassius Ohno, but like, that was a pretty good match. It was really short. I wish it had gone on longer, but overall it was pretty good. I did get to see some of the matches I hadn't seen yet because I started watching NXT like the night before SummerSlam with that TakeOver New Orleans. I mean, no. TakeOver Brooklyn 4. And so I'm looking forward to seeing what goes on with NXT UK this year, what goes on 205 Live this year, and what goes on with WWE NXT moving forward. And also the same with the Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live. I really hope they get better, Raw especially. But SmackDown Live was pretty good Tuesday. I enjoyed it. So I'm going to go now. And from the next video, which is my personal best and worst moments of WWE 2018, going from when I started watching on a weekly basis, the week of, so the go-home shows of Monday Night Raw and SmackDown before Money in the Bank until like just last week, and the last episode 2018, and yeah, that's the next video, so I will see you in a little while. Hi.